You're scrolling through life while real men are out there conquering. Please give your all attention here and listen up, because in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you why you're weak and how to fix it. Welcome to the Stoic community. Gentlemen, I'm not here to satisfy you. I'm here to wake you up. Society has lulled you into a false sense of comfort, but true strength comes from facing discomfort head-on. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So let's react to your weakness by crushing it. The comfort trap. All right, listen up, gentlemen. It's time to talk about the silent killer that's turning you into a pathetic excuse for a man. Comfort. Yeah, you heard me right. Do you think all those cushy conveniences will make your life better? They're actually making you weak. Your fancy memory foam mattress, your food delivery apps, your climate-controlled everything. It's all a trap, and you've fallen right into it. Let me break it down for you. Our ancestors? They were forged in the fires of adversity. They hunted their food, built their shelters, and fought off predators. What do? Whine when your Wi-Fi drops for 5 minutes. But here's the kicker. It's not your fault. Society's been feeding you this bullshit that comfort equals happiness. Well, guess what? True happiness, true strength, comes from embracing discomfort. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." You know what that means? It means most of the shit you're afraid of is all in your head. The discomfort you're avoiding, it's nothing compared to what you're capable of enduring. So here's what you're going to do. Starting today, you're going to seek out discomfort. Take cold showers, sleep on the floor, fast for 24 hours. Push your limits, because that's where growth happens. Remember, comfort is a lie. It's a slow poison that's killing your potential. Embrace the suck, and you'll discover what you're really made of. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about another weakness that's affecting you right now. Yeah, I'm talking about that device you're watching this on. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive into the digital disease that's rotting your brain. Digital distractions, the silent killer. Attention, all screen-addicted individuals. It's time to confront the major issue, the smartphone in your hand. You think you're connected? You're more disconnected than ever. That device you can't stop fondling? It's not a tool. It's your master, and you're its slave. Let's break down how this digital disease is rotting your brain. First off, what is your attention span? It's shot to hell. You can't focus on anything for more than 30 seconds without reaching for your phone. Real men have the discipline to stay locked in on a task. But you're jumping from app to app like a squirrel on crack. Just imagine the time wasted on social media, endless scrolling through perfectly staged content, constantly measuring your everyday reality against everyone else's best moments. Have you considered the impact on your mental strength? It's slowly but surely turning resilience into fragility. Here's a hard truth. While you're double-tapping thirst traps and watching cat videos, real men are out there grinding, building empires, and conquering their goals. But it's not too late. Here's what you're going to do. 1. Digital detox, starting now. Turn off all notifications except calls and texts from actual humans. 2. Set specific times for checking social media. I'm talking 15 minutes twice a day max. The rest of the time, you're living in the real world, champ. 3. Before bed, your phone stays outside your room. Buy an actual alarm clock if you need to wake up. Your bedroom is for sleep and sex, not scrolling. Remember what the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said: "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's time to regain control of your mind from these digital distractions. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about something you can see in the mirror: your physical weakness. Physical weakness, more than just muscles. All right, men, it's time to face the hard truth. You're not just mentally weak, you're physically weak too. And I'm not just talking about those noodle arms you're trying to hide under that baggy hoodie. Let's get one thing straight. Physical strength isn't just about looking good shirtless. It's about being ready for whatever life throws at you. Our ancestors, they could hunt, build, and fight. You get winded walking up a flight of stairs. Here's the deal: your body and mind are connected. When you let your body go soft, your mind follows. Do you think you can be mentally tough when you can't even do a single pull-up? Think again. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is difficulties that show what men are." Right now, many of you struggle to face difficulties head-on. But remember, these challenges are opportunities to prove your strength and resilience. Now, listen up, because I'm about to drop some knowledge on how to fix this mess. First, stop making excuses. I don't care if you're busy, tired, or whatever BS reason you've cooked up. Make time for physical training. No gym membership? Do bodyweight exercises? No equipment? Run. Do push-ups. Climb trees. Nature is your gym. Second, challenge your body regularly. And I'm not talking about your little 20-minute yoga session. I'm talking about pushing yourself to the limit. Run until you puke. Lift until your muscles scream. Embrace the pain. It's weakness leaving your body. Third, cold exposure. Take ice-cold showers. Swim in freezing lakes. This isn't just about physical toughness. It's about mental resilience. When you can stand under an icy stream without flinching, you're building the mental fortitude to face any challenge. Fourth, learn a martial art or combat sport. Nothing builds physical and mental toughness like knowing you can defend yourself. Plus, getting punched in the face occasionally is a great way to check your ego. Remember, your body is a weapon. Right now, most of you are walking around with rusty butter knives. It's time to forge yourself into a razor-sharp blade. In the next chapter, we're diving deep into your head. Because let's face it, the biggest obstacle to your strength isn't out there. It's between your ears. Mental fragility. Toughen up your mind. Listen up, men. We've talked about your weak body, but now it's time to address the real problem. That soft, fragile mind of yours. You think you're tough because you can bench press a few plates? Hate to break it to you, but true strength starts in the mind. And right now, most of you have the mental fortitude of a wet paper bag. Let's break down why you're mentally weak. First off, you've got a victim mentality, always blaming others for your problems. Oh, my boss is unfair. The economy is bad. I had a rough childhood. Life isn't fair. Real men don't whine about it. They adapt and overcome. Second, you crumble at the first sign of adversity. One setback, and you're ready to throw in the towel. Where's your resilience? Where's your grit? The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's time to take control of that flabby brain of yours. Here's how we're going to toughen up that mind. 1. Practice negative visualization. Every day, imagine losing everything you have: your job, your relationships, your possessions. Now, How would you handle that? This Stoic practice will make you appreciate what you have and prepare you for the worst. 2. Embrace discomfort. Do something every day that scares you or makes you uncomfortable. Ask that girl out. Speak up in that meeting. Take on that project you think you can't handle. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. 3. Practice mindfulness. Yeah, I know it sounds soft, but being aware of your thoughts is crucial. Catch those weak, whiny thoughts and shut them down. Replace them with thoughts of strength and resilience. 4. Read about great men who overcame adversity. Guys like Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire while fighting wars and dealing with a pandemic, or modern-day warriors like David Goggins. Learn from their mental toughness. 5. Stop seeking external validation. Your self-worth shouldn't depend on likes, follows, or anyone's approval, but your own. Be your own judge, jury, and executioner. Remember, mental toughness isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about feeling it and pushing through anyway. It's about getting knocked down 7 times and getting up 8. In the next chapter, we're going to address the plague that's holding most of you back: excuses. It's time to cut the crap and take radical responsibility for your life. The excuse epidemic. Gentlemen, it's time to address the elephant in the room: excuses. They're like a virus, infecting your mind and crippling your potential. Today, we're going to inoculate you against this epidemic. Let's start with a hard truth. Excuses are a choice. Every time you make an excuse, you're choosing to remain weak. You're choosing to stay exactly where you are instead of pushing forward. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't understand my situation. Stop right there. That's excuse number 1. Your situation isn't unique. Someone out there has it worse and is still crushing it. Let's break down some common excuses. I don't have time. Really? You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. It's not about having time. It's about making time. Wake up an hour earlier. Cut out Netflix. Prioritize what matters. I'm too tired. Here's a secret. Action creates energy. The more you do, the more energy you'll have. Start moving and watch your fatigue disappear. I'm not talented enough. Talent is overrated. You know what's underrated? Persistence, grit, the willingness to fail and keep going. These are choices, not talents. It's too hard. Good. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Embrace the challenge. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. I'm afraid of failure. Listen closely. Failure isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. Every great man has failed countless times. The difference? They didn't let it stop them. Now let's talk about the antidote to excuses. Radical responsibility. This means owning every aspect of your life. Your successes, your failures, your circumstances, all of it. Here's how to implement radical responsibility. 1. Audit your language. Catch yourself when you're about to make an excuse. Replace "I can't" with "How can I?" 2. Create a no-excuse policy for yourself. When you catch yourself making an excuse, immediately do the thing you're making an excuse for. 3. Surround yourself with no-excuse people. Your peers influence you more than you realize. Find friends who call you out on your BS and push you to be better. 4. Practice daily self-reflection. Ask yourself at the end of each day, did I give my all today? Did I make any excuses? How can I do better tomorrow? 5. Set concrete goals and deadlines. Vague aspirations breed excuses. Specific goals with clear timelines force you to act. Remember, gentlemen, excuses are the nails used to build the house of failure. Every time you make an excuse, you hammer another nail into that structure. It's time to tear it down and build something greater. In our next chapter, we're going to equip you with practical exercises to forge an iron will. It's time to turn all this knowledge into action. Get ready, because things are about to get intense. Forging your iron will. All right, gentlemen, we've torn down the weak foundations. Now, it's time to build something unbreakable, your iron will. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. We're talking about cultivating an unshakable resolve that'll carry you through any challenge. Let's start with a truth bomb from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This is the essence of mental toughness, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. Now, let's dive into practical exercises to forge that iron will. 1. The 5 a.m. challenge. For the next 30 days, wake up at 5 a.m. No excuses. Use this time for exercise, reading, or working on your goals. This isn't just about waking up early. It's about honoring a commitment to yourself. 2. Cold shower therapy. Start your day with a cold shower. Begin with 30 seconds and work your way up to 5 minutes. This trains your mind to embrace discomfort and proves you control your reactions. 3. The 100-day challenge. Pick a skill you want to master. Commit to practicing it every single day for 100 days. No breaks, no excuses. This builds consistency and proves you can stick to long-term goals. 4. Delayed gratification training. Next time you want something, a snack, a purchase, checking your phone, force yourself to wait. Start with 10 minutes, then increase the time. This strengthens your ability to resist impulses. 5. Voluntary discomfort. Once a week, purposely make yourself uncomfortable. Sleep on the floor. Fast for 24 hours. Take a cold plunge. This builds resilience and reminds you that you can handle more than you think. 6. The Stoic Journal. Every night, reflect on your day. What challenged you? How did you respond? What can you improve? This builds self-awareness and accountability. 7. Physical endurance. Test. Once a month, push your physical limits. Run farther than you ever have. Hold a plank until you shake. This isn't just about physical strength. It's about pushing through mental barriers. Remember, gentlemen, these aren't just exercises. They're tests of character. Each one is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought possible. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: failure. You will fail. You'll miss a day. You'll give in to temptation. Here's the key. It's not about being perfect. It's about how quickly you get back on track. A strong will isn't built by never falling, but always getting back up. As Seneca wisely said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." So stop fearing failure. Stop fearing discomfort. Stop fearing the judgment of others. Start living in a way that makes you proud. We've come to the end of our lessons, but this is just the beginning for you. We've exposed the lies of comfort, shattered your excuses, and given you the tools to forge an iron will. It's time to assemble it and step onto the warrior's path. Let's recap what we've learned. 1. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Embrace discomfort and challenge yourself daily. 2. Digital distractions are weakening your mind. Take control of your attention and focus. 3. Physical strength is the foundation of mental toughness. Train your body to strengthen your mind. 4. Mental fragility is a choice. Choose resilience. Choose grit. Choose to be unbreakable. 5. Excuses are the nails in the coffin of your potential. Take radical responsibility for your life. 6. An iron will is forged through consistent, deliberate practice. It's a daily choice to be stronger than you were yesterday. Now, here's the truth. The path of the warrior isn't easy. It's not meant to be. It's a path of constant challenge, pushing your limits and facing your fears head on. But it's also a path of incredible reward. The strength you'll gain, the respect you'll earn, most importantly, from yourself, is beyond measure. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is your call to action. Stop talking about change. Stop dreaming about being better and start doing. From this moment on, you have a choice. You can close this video and return to your old ways, comfort, excuses, and weakness. Or you can choose the warrior's path. You can choose to be the man you know you can be, the man you were meant to be. The challenges you'll face will be formidable. There will be days when you want to quit, when the old habits call to you, when weakness seems easier. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember the man you're fighting to become. You're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing it for every person who depends on you, for every person you could inspire, for every challenge ahead. The world needs strong men now more than ever. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to stay weak, or are you ready to become the warrior you were born to be? The choice is yours. The time is now. Remember, strength isn't just about conquering the world around you. It's about conquering yourself. Every day, in every choice, you decide who you become. Choose wisely. Choose strength. Choose the path of the warrior. All right, gentlemen, our time's up, but your real work is just beginning. Remember, this isn't just about watching a video. It's about taking action. Starting right now, I want you to do anything that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Take that cold shower. Delete that time-wasting app. Sign up for that challenge you've been putting off. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There's only now. Weakness is a choice, and so is strength. You're making that choice every day, every hour, every minute. So what's it going to be? This is your life we're talking about. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you the life you want. You've got to go out there and take it. So turn off this video, put down your phone, get up, and go become the man you know you can be. Remember, the path of the warrior awaits. Now go conquer your day, your life, your world. Stay strong, stay focused, and never settle for weakness.
Hello and welcome to this video on applying Stoic philosophy to deal with social anxiety in everyday situations. Suppose you struggle with nervousness, fear of judgment or embarrassment in social interactions. In that case, this video will provide some powerful wisdom and strategies from the ancient Stoic philosophers to help you manage those difficulties. The Stoics were a school of Greek philosophers dating back to around 300 BC who developed a practical system of logic and ethics to achieve tranquility and resilience amidst life's challenges. While their teachings originated centuries ago, the core principles remain relevant and applicable daily. In this video, we'll explore utilizing key Stoic concepts and techniques to reduce social anxiety and increase confidence when navigating everyday social situations like conversations, public speaking, networking events, and more. I'll share insights from great Stoic thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, whose words illustrate a profound understanding of the human condition. Now, the brilliance of Stoic philosophy lies in its simplicity and relatability. Anybody can understand and apply these teachings to their experiences and find solutions. I'll use plenty of examples from our contemporary world to ensure these ancient ideas resonate deeply. Understanding social anxiety. Social anxiety is something that affects millions of people across the world. The feeling of nervousness and fear of being judged or embarrassing yourself arises in social situations. As the ancient Stoic Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." For many, social anxiety can manifest as physical symptoms like a racing heart, sweaty palms, shaky voice, or even nausea when having to interact with others. But it goes beyond just feeling uncomfortable. This condition can cause people to avoid certain social situations out of fear, like public speaking, meeting new people, or attending gatherings. Remember, if you are aiming at something great, you must dedicate yourself to something great as well. Overcoming social anxiety requires commitment, but the benefits of being able to engage fully in life are immense. Think about all the missed opportunities, connections, and constraints when social fears take over. Imagine being able to go after that new job confidently, to speak up in meetings without hesitation, attending social events, and being present instead of being consumed by anxious thoughts. The philosophers of Stoicism would remind us that while anxiety itself is a natural response, how we perceive and respond to that feeling determines our suffering. As Epictetus stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." With guidance from Stoic principles, we can reframe our perspective on social anxiety from being a scary obstacle to an opportunity for growth and mastery over our minds. The Stoic dichotomy of control. One of the most fundamental concepts in Stoic philosophy is the dichotomy of control, the idea that we only have complete control over our thoughts, judgments, and actions. Everything else, the behavior of others, external events, outcomes, is out of our control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When it comes to social anxiety, so much of our fear stems from wanting to control the uncontrollable, how we are perceived by others, whether they judge or reject us if something embarrassing happens. But the Stoics would argue this is a recipe for inner turmoil. Imagine you're about to give a presentation at work. You may have some anxiety thinking, "What if I mess up my words?" Or, "What if people think I'm incompetent?" These worries come from wanting to control how the audience perceives and thinks about you, which is ultimately out of your control. However, what is within your control is how prepared you are, how you regulate your emotions and self-talk, and how you respond to whatever happens during the presentation itself. The ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius summed it up nicely. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Rather than agonizing over what you cannot control, you can focus on maintaining your preparation, poise, and rational perspective. This refocusing of energy is incredibly empowering. Let's look at another everyday example, conversing with someone new. The anxious thoughts may be, "What if they don't like me?" Or, "What if I say something awkward?" Again, their perception of you is out of your control. But you can control your inner calm through techniques like box breathing. You can control making eye contact and listening attentively. You can control what you choose to say or not say. Focusing solely on what you can control in social situations, the philosophy of Stoicism provides a robust framework for overcoming anxiety. Practicing rational thinking. At the core of social anxiety are the irrational thoughts and cognitive distortions that fuel fear and nervousness. As Epictetus wisely stated, man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. Our minds can spin anxious stories and worst-case scenarios in social situations that have no basis in reality. The Stoics recognize that while we cannot always control our initial gut reactions, we can exercise control over how we process and respond to those thoughts and feelings. Let's look at an example of putting this into practice. Imagine you're at a party and seeing a group of people you don't know well. The anxious thoughts might start, "They're going to think I'm awkward and weird if I try to talk to them. I'll just embarrass myself." Your mind is already catastrophizing a hypothetical social interaction that hasn't yet occurred. This is the irrational view causing you disturbance and anxiety. A Stoic approach would be to pause, draw in a deep breath, and start questioning those anxious thoughts rationally. Is it true they will definitely think I'm weird just for trying to be friendly? Do I have evidence to say that with certainty? Even if they did judge me negatively, how big of a deal is that really in the grand scheme of things? Have there been times I've thought people judged me harshly, but in reality they did not? By calmly interrogating the irrational fears with Socratic questioning, you can weaken their power over you. You realize the distressing thoughts are not based on facts, but pessimistic fortune-telling. The Roman statesman Seneca reinforced this by saying, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than reality." With consistent practice regulating your mind this way, you take back control from the irrational and anxious mental loops. You become more grounded in the present reality of social situations rather than getting hijacked by worst-case scenarios. Building confidence through virtue. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is that true confidence and self-respect come from living a virtuous life following reason and wisdom. As Epictetus boldly stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You build an unshakable inner strength when you align your thoughts and actions with virtues like courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. This core self-assuredness becomes your unbendable rock in the ocean of social anxiety. Let's start with the virtue of courage. Social fears often stem from avoiding discomfort. We don't want to feel anxious, judged, or embarrassed, so we dodge certain situations altogether. However, the Stoics would argue that psychological discomfort is inevitable in life. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." By avoiding discomfort, we let our fears control us rather than our higher rational minds. True courage involves leaning into the anxiety and taking wise action for a higher purpose. It's having an honest conversation with a friend about an issue in the relationship despite the nervousness. It's raising your hand to speak up in a meeting when you have something valuable to contribute. It's introducing yourself to someone new at an event, even if your heart is pounding. William Makepeace Thackeray, an English novelist, embodied this spirit when he said, "Bravery never goes out of fashion." Each courageous action builds your confidence further for the next. It reinforces the belief that you have the strength to withstand life's inevitable difficulties. Stoicism also emphasizes the virtue of wisdom and its role in self-governance. Someone operating from wisdom has perspective. They do not make rash judgments or give unbridled power to irrational thoughts and emotions like social anxiety. The wise person can observe their anxious feelings and say, "This is just an instinctive response based on irrational fears about the unknown. It doesn't have to control me." They can regulate their mind and body through negative visualization, self-talk, and conscious breathing. Remember, with sacrifice before no approach is made, nor can a thing be hunted down that will not run away. This means you must make some effort or give up something before achieving a goal. It also implies that you can only pursue something willing to move or change. If something is fixed or uninterested, it can't be chased or caught. Similarly, social confidence comes from diligently practicing wisdom, continually catching and reframing anxious thoughts before they run rampant. Finally, the Stoics revered the virtue of temperance, which is all about exercising restraint, moderation, and self-discipline. This is key for managing social anxiety, as the symptoms often involve a sense of losing control. Someone acting with temperance does not get hijacked by anxious emotions in the heat of social interaction. They can stay grounded and poised. They think before reacting. They have the restraint to pause and recenter themselves when anxiousness arises rather than letting it spiral. The philosopher Zeno of Citium described the temperate person as being unmoved by pains or pleasures. While feeling some nerves is inevitable, you can develop the mental toughness to keep that state from controlling you. You cultivate an unshakable core of self-confidence by embodying virtues like courage, wisdom, and temperance in your daily life. You stop being at the mercy of social fears and instead operate from a place of inner fortitude. The power of present moment awareness. One of the biggest pitfalls that feeds into social anxiety is getting trapped in your mind, caught up in worries about the future or ruminations about the past. The Stoics recognize that the present is the only moment you truly have control over. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, confine yourself to the present. When fully grounded in the here and now during social interactions, there is no room for anxious thoughts about what could go wrong or rehashing some embarrassing moment. You exist in the living reality before you. Let's imagine you're conversing with a co-worker about an upcoming project. Suppose you're fully engaged and listening with focused attention. In that case, you cannot simultaneously be tangled up in anxious stories like, "What if I say something stupid?" or "I rambled weirdly in our last meeting." Those thoughts have no space to take root when your mind is anchored in the present. The Stoic philosopher Seneca drove this point by saying, "Life is divided into 3 periods: that which has been, that which is, and that which will be. Of these, the present time is short. When you dwell on the past or fixate on the future, you overlook the most critical period, the fleeting present. You rob yourself of the richness of the immediate human interaction or experience." Fortunately, the ancient Stoics developed powerful mindfulness practices to cultivate and apply present moment awareness to daily situations. One highly effective technique is focusing your attention on the inhale and exhale of the breath. An old and well-known saying that if, by keeping watch over himself in this way, he resists the first distractions of the mind, he will combat against the same means, such as pull it away, and thus, by discipline, stay focused. By consciously anchoring your mind to the simple act of breathing before a social situation, you simultaneously release anxious forecasts and instead attune yourself to your surroundings, the sights, sounds, and physical sensations of that present moment reality. Another mindfulness practice from Stoicism is to pause and vividly take in your surroundings through all 5 senses. If you're conversing with someone, rather than getting lost in your insecure mental chatter, you can feel the solidness of the ground beneath your feet. You can look the person in the eye and pick up on their micro-expressions and body language. You can hear the various ambient noises around you. This technique helps jolt your awareness out of habitual mind-wandering and into the vibrancy of the living reality manifest in that interaction. As the philosopher Chrysippus wrote, "The person who follows reason in every field will act at each stage on the correct preconception derived from their healthy senses." When you tap into the data from all 5 senses, you bypass the preconceptions, assumptions, and stories your anxious mind creates. You exist purely as an observing, present-focused consciousness. By practicing mindfulness consistently, you train your mind to remain grounded in the here and now, rather than getting consumed by swirling thoughts and emotions. The more you live fully rooted in the present moment, the more social anxiety loses its power over you. Reflecting on social interactions. One of the core practices emphasized by the Stoics was taking time for self-reflection and continual growth. As the famous quote by Socrates states, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This is especially vital when it comes to overcoming social anxiety in the long term. By reflecting on your experiences honestly and rationally, you can pinpoint areas for improvement while also calibrating your perspective. All too often, those with social anxiety ruminate endlessly about perceived flaws or embarrassing moments from social interactions. "I sounded so awkward when I tried to make that joke. They probably think I'm weird for not saying much." However, the Stoics would argue that obsessing over how you think you come across to others is a colossal waste of mental energy. Like, what is the crafty person? One who values the things which are within their own will, rather than the things which are not. The opinions others form about you based on an interaction are ultimately outside your control. It doesn't matter if they think you're awkward or weird. That's on them, not you. How you respond and grow from the experience lies in your control. Remember, if you learn to take criticism from others and get over any bitterness it may trigger, you will gain something massively powerful: freedom from being a captive to other people's judgments. Rather than dwell on imagined negative perceptions, you can reflect objectively. What did I handle well in that interaction? What didn't go as I hoped? And how can I improve? You take the judgmental weight off your shoulders. Additionally, the Stoics focused on separating things within your control from those outside of it. Making a social mistake or failing at something is inevitable. That's life. As Seneca wrote, "It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. But it is possible to scale it if only men cease worshipping trifles in their hearts and striving after low ends. The key is your response to failure or embarrassment. You cannot control preventing it entirely, but you can control whether you wallow in shame and anxiety or learn and grow from it." Let's say you had an important presentation at work that could have gone better. You stumbled over some words, maybe even blanked on a critical point. Getting overly anxious and beating yourself up solves nothing. A wise response, which the Stoics prescribed, would be: 1. Reflect objectively on what led to those mistakes without harsh judgment. Did you need to prepare, feeling unwell physically? 2. Identify concrete learnings like allowing more practice time or using cue cards as backup. 3. Have self-compassion. Remember, everyone is imperfect. 4. Refocus on doing better in future opportunities, not ruminating endlessly. The Stoic Panaetius highlighted the importance of this approach, stating, "Make for yourself a practice of 2 rules. to put up with the humors of others as easily as possible, and to work indefatigably on your own reason. Social anxiety often stems from a lack of resilience when things don't go to plan. Rather than crumble under the weight of perceived judgment or failure, reflect constructively, let it go, and commit to thoughtful growth. By taking this rational, growth-oriented approach to reflecting on social situations, you gradually become more confident and less paralyzed by anxiety. As Seneca said, "The way is long if one follows precepts, but short and helpful if one follows patterns." Learn from every experience through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Little by little, your anxious patterns dissolve as your resilience strengthens. What was once daunting becomes just another opportunity to flex your philosophical fortitude. Throughout this video, we've explored profound teachings from the ancient Stoic philosophers and how to apply them to overcome social anxiety in our modern daily lives. We began by understanding the nature of social anxiety and how it constrains us from fully participating in life's experiences. The Stoics then provided a robust framework for managing anxiety through critical principles like the dichotomy of control, focusing our efforts solely on what we can control in social situations rather than the uncontrollable opinions of others. Practicing rational thinking to challenge the irrational, anxious thoughts that fuel social fears. Developing true self-confidence by living with virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-discipline. Cultivating present-moment awareness through mindfulness to ground ourselves in reality rather than getting lost in anxious stories. Reflecting objectively on social experiences to learn and grow, rather than dwelling on perceived judgments or failures. While the concepts originated thousands of years ago, the Stoic system provides a timeless, practical framework for anyone struggling with social anxiety in the modern age. Their words remind us that we alone have the power to exercise control over our minds and find inner solidity amidst life's inevitable storms. As Marcus Aurelius encouragingly wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This exploration of Stoic wisdom has given you a new perspective and concrete tools for managing your social fears more effectively. The path requires diligent practice, but the rewards are immense. Being able to show up for life's adventures and connections without constantly being hijacked by anxiety. You should start implementing these strategies gradually into your daily experiences. Notice when anxious thoughts arise and apply Stoic rationality and mindfulness. Approach each social scenario as an opportunity to practice philosophical principles rather than something to be feared. Over time, fortifying yourself with this ancient wisdom will allow your most accurate confidence to emerge, the self-assuredness you possess, the mental toughness and resilience to handle whatever life brings with grace. You've got this. If you found value in this video, I'd love for you to leave a comment sharing your biggest takeaway or any other thoughts. Like the video and subscribe for more inspiring content applying timeless philosophical teachings to our modern challenges. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the brilliant minds of the Stoics. I'll see you in the following video.
Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Neil Donald Walsh. Imagine living a life where every day is the same, where you stick to what's familiar, and where change is something you avoid at all costs. This is the essence of staying in your comfort zone, a place of perceived safety, but also one of stagnation and missed opportunities. In today's world, comfort can be a prison, especially for those of us seeking to grow and excel. But what if I told you that the path to real growth, meaningful change, and a more fulfilling life starts when you step out of that comfort zone. Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided many through life's toughest challenges, offers valuable insights into how we can confront our fears and embrace change. The only way to deal with fear is to face it head-on. Seneca. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, understood that fear often keeps us locked in our safe spaces. We avoid risks and challenges, and in doing so, we avoid living fully. Fear is a natural response, but it's also one we can overcome with the right mindset. Stoicism teaches us that we develop resilience and courage by facing our fears directly. It's not about eliminating fear, but about using it as a catalyst for growth. When you remain in your comfort zone, you're not just avoiding discomfort, you're also avoiding the potential for greatness. You might think staying comfortable is a form of self-care, but it's a way to avoid experiences that could lead to profound personal development. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, said, "The obstacle on the path becomes the way." This means that our challenges and discomforts are not barriers to our progress, but essential parts of our journey. They are opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. By reframing our struggles as stepping stones rather than obstacles, we shift our mindset from avoidance to empowerment. Consider the daily routines you stick to out of habit. They might seem safe, but they're also limiting. When was the last time you tried something new or took a risk? If you can't remember, it might be time to evaluate whether your comfort zone stifles your potential. This video will explore why stepping out of your comfort zone is crucial and how adopting Stoic principles can help you do just that. We'll dive into practical strategies to embrace discomfort, face our fears with a renewed perspective, and learn how ancient wisdom can transform our modern lives. Throughout this journey, we'll draw on the teachings of Stoic philosophers and real-life examples to illustrate the powerful impact of stepping out of your comfort zone. By the end of this video, you'll understand the pitfalls of staying safe and have actionable steps to break free from your comfort zone and embrace a life of growth and adventure. So buckle up and prepare to challenge yourself. It's time to move beyond your comfort zone and unlock the full potential of your life. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Embrace the challenge, find your why, and begin this journey together. Understanding the comfort zone. Let's break down the comfort zone and why it's more of a trap than a safe haven. The comfort zone is essentially a mental and emotional state where things feel familiar and safe. It's like a cozy cocoon where risks and challenges are kept at bay. You might think it's a secure place, but a false sense of security stifles your growth. Definition: what is the comfort zone? Imagine a zone where everything is predictable and comfortable. This is where most people tend to stay because it feels safe. You're in control, and things are routine. However, this sense of safety is an illusion. While it may seem like a perfect place to be, the comfort zone often leads to complacency. You're not growing, and certainly not reaching your full potential. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Seneca's words resonate deeply when we talk about the comfort zone. Often, the fear of stepping out is far worse than the reality of facing a challenge. Our minds tend to exaggerate the risks and potential failures, creating a mental prison that keeps us from taking action. The discomfort we imagine is often much greater than the actual experience of confronting our fears. Consequences. The high cost of staying put. Staying in your comfort zone comes with significant downsides. Here are a few key consequences. Lack of value. When you stick to what's familiar, you're not bringing anything new. The things that we love tell us what we are. Seneca. If you're not growing, you're not adding value to yourself or others. making you seem less dynamic and interesting. Relationship struggles. Maintaining or impressing someone becomes challenging if you're not evolving. Relationships thrive on growth. If you're not pushing your boundaries, your connections can become stagnant and unfulfilling. Unfulfilled dreams. Dreams need action to come to life. Staying in your comfort zone is like keeping those dreams in a dark corner. Nothing will grow. What does not kill us makes us stronger. Friedrich Nietzsche. The absolute failure is refusing to try. Stagnant growth. Growth requires action and discomfort. If you're not challenging yourself, you're not improving. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. The fear of stepping out is usually worse than the actual experience. Missed opportunities. Life is full of chances that can lead to amazing experiences. By staying comfortable, you miss out on these opportunities. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Each missed chance is a step away from a potential breakthrough. Low self-worth. Avoiding challenges can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Your worth is tied to your willingness to grow and take action. Limited impact. You can't make a significant difference while staying in your comfort zone. He who is brave is free. Seneca. You must push through fear and expand your boundaries to have a meaningful impact. Career limits. Career growth often comes from taking risks and stepping into new roles. Sticking to what you know might feel safe, but it also limits your advancement and opportunities. Health issues. Avoiding the discomfort of healthy habits can lead to long-term health problems. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. Neglecting your well-being now can have serious effects later. Social isolation. Staying in your safe zone can lead to missing out on meaningful connections and friendships. Genuine connections are made when you venture beyond your comfort zone and embrace new experiences. Understanding these consequences can help you see why staying in your comfort zone isn't as safe as it seems. A mental trap keeps you from reaching your full potential and living a more fulfilling life. Stoic methods for embracing change. Embracing change can be daunting, but Stoicism offers powerful strategies to make the process smoother and more effective. Here's how you can apply Stoic principles to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Stoic Principle 1. Reflect on the possible outcomes. When facing a decision or change, it's crucial to consider both the worst-case and best-case scenarios. This approach helps you prepare for potential challenges and seize opportunities with a balanced perspective. Before taking action, take a moment to visualize the possible outcomes. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And what's the best outcome? This method allows you to plan for difficulties while recognizing potential benefits. By anticipating these scenarios, you can make informed decisions and reduce the fear of the unknown. The obstacle on the path becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. This quote underscores the idea that obstacles are not just barriers, but integral parts of your journey. When you reflect on potential outcomes, you plan and transform challenges into stepping stones toward your goals. Stoic Principle 2. Manage emotions and stay objective. Controlling your emotions and maintaining objectivity are key when navigating change. Emotions can cloud judgment and lead to impulsive decisions. You can approach situations with a clear, rational mind by managing your emotions. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness to understand your emotional responses. When faced with a challenge, pause to assess your feelings and thoughts. Are they based on facts or fears? You can make more deliberate and effective choices by focusing on objective realities rather than emotional reactions. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius. This quote highlights the Stoic belief that while you can't control external events, you have complete control over your responses. You empower yourself to handle change with grace and resilience by mastering your emotions. Stoic Principle 3. Embrace discomfort as a path to growth. Discomfort is an essential part of growth and development. Instead of avoiding it, embrace it as a tool for personal improvement. Discomfort pushes you out of your comfort zone and fosters resilience. When faced with discomfort, view it as an opportunity rather than a threat. Whether tackling a challenging project, facing a fear, or learning a new skill, approach these situations with the mindset that they contribute to your growth. Recognize that discomfort is a sign you're pushing your boundaries and evolving. He who is brave is free. Seneca. Seneca's quote reinforces the idea that true freedom comes from courage. Embracing discomfort requires bravery, and you achieve greater freedom in your life through that bravery. You unlock your potential and achieve personal growth by facing and overcoming challenges. Real-life problems from staying in your comfort zone. Stepping out of your comfort zone is often easier said than done, but staying within its confines can have serious, far-reaching consequences. These real-life problems illustrate how comfort, when left unchecked, can erode various aspects of your life, from your relationships to your self-worth. Lack of value, no new contributions or growth. One of the most significant drawbacks of staying in your comfort zone is the lack of personal and professional growth. When you cling to what is familiar, you deny yourself the opportunity to bring new and valuable ideas to the table. Think about it. Growth only happens when you push yourself beyond your limits. If you're not growing, you're stagnating, which often leads to a life where you contribute very little value. The inability to offer fresh perspectives or innovative ideas can make you seem less interesting and dynamic in your personal and professional life. Over time, this can affect your relationships, career, and overall sense of purpose. People who consistently push their boundaries are often seen as more valuable because they continuously evolve. On the other hand, those who remain in their comfort zone risk becoming obsolete or irrelevant. Relationship struggles. Difficulty in maintaining or impressing relationships. Relationships, whether romantic or platonic, thrive on growth and development. How can you expect to maintain or impress those you care about if you're not challenging yourself? The comfort zone might feel safe, but it can lead to a stagnant and unfulfilling connection with others. When you stop pushing your boundaries, you might find that your relationships become monotonous or even strained. Your partner or friends might feel that you're not contributing to the relationship's growth, leading to dissatisfaction on both sides. Relationships require effort. Part of that effort is stepping out of your comfort zone to keep things fresh, exciting, and meaningful. Unfulfilled dreams, and goals remain unreachable. Your dreams and aspirations are like seeds. They need nurturing to grow. Staying in your comfort zone is like keeping those seeds in a dark, confined space. They'll never sprout. The pain of unfulfilled dreams is a powerful reminder that growth requires stepping out and taking risks. Many people look back on their lives with regret, not because of the things they did, but because of the things they didn't do. The dreams they didn't chase, the risks they didn't take, the goals they didn't achieve, all because they were too comfortable where they were. This comfort, however, is deceptive. It creates a false sense of security while slowly eroding your potential for greatness. Stagnant growth. no improvement in life areas such as career or health. Growth is not a passive process. It requires action and, often, discomfort. If you're not actively challenging yourself, you're not improving. The stagnation can affect all areas of your life, your career, health, and personal development. In your career, staying in your comfort zone might mean passing up opportunities for advancement or failing to develop new skills. In your personal life, it could mean neglecting your health or failing to pursue hobbies and interests that could enrich your life. Over time, this lack of growth can lead to a deep sense of dissatisfaction and a feeling that you're not living up to your potential. Missed opportunities, lost chances for better experiences. Life is full of opportunities that can lead to incredible experiences and achievements. You're missing out on these opportunities by staying in your comfort zone. You might not realize it, but each missed chance is a step away from a potentially life-changing experience. Opportunities don't always come knocking twice, whether it's a chance to travel, a career opportunity, or the possibility of meeting someone who could change your life. These moments are often fleeting. If you're too comfortable to seize them, you may find yourself looking back with regret, wondering what could have been. Low self-worth, feelings of unfulfillment, and low self-esteem. If you're not challenging yourself, you may not be living up to your potential. This can lead to low self-esteem and a sense of unfulfillment. Your self-worth is closely tied to your actions and willingness to grow. When you avoid challenges, you're telling yourself you're incapable of handling them. Over time, this can erode your confidence and leave you feeling stuck. On the other hand, when you face challenges head-on, even if you don't always succeed, you build resilience and self-respect. You start to see yourself capable of growth and change, which can profoundly impact your self-esteem. Limited impact, restricted ability to make a difference. Staying in your comfort zone restricts your ability to make a meaningful difference. You need to push your boundaries to have a greater impact and contribute positively to your surroundings. When you step out of your comfort zone, you open yourself to new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities to make a difference. Whether in your community, workplace, or personal life, pushing beyond what's familiar allows you to influence the world in ways you never thought possible. On the other hand, staying comfortable limits your impact and can leave you feeling like you're not living up to your potential. Career limits, limited job prospects, and career advancement. In the professional world, growth comes from taking risks and stepping out of familiar roles. Sticking to what you know might feel safe, but it also limits your career advancement and opportunities. The discomfort of change is often a precursor to career growth. When you take on new challenges, you develop new skills, expand your network, and open up new career opportunities. However, if you remain in your comfort zone, you may find yourself stuck in the same position with little room for advancement. Over time, this can lead to frustration and dissatisfaction with your career. Health issues, potential health problems from avoiding healthy habits. Avoiding the discomfort of adopting healthy habits can lead to long-term health problems. The easy path might seem appealing now, but it's essential to consider the long-term effects of neglecting your well-being. Staying in your comfort zone can lead to a sedentary lifestyle, poor eating habits, and other unhealthy behaviors that can have severe consequences over time. While it might be easier to avoid exercise or continue eating unhealthy foods, the long-term effects of these choices can be devastating. On the other hand, stepping out of your comfort zone to adopt healthier habits can lead to a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Social isolation, missing out on meaningful connections and friendships. You might miss out on building meaningful connections and friendships by sticking to your safe zone. Isolation can result from avoiding new experiences and challenges. The world outside your comfort zone is where genuine connections and friendships are made. When you avoid new experiences, you limit your opportunities to meet new people and build meaningful relationships. Over time, this can lead to social isolation, which can have severe consequences for your mental and emotional well-being. On the other hand, when you step out of your comfort zone, you open yourself up to new relationships and the possibility of forming deep, lasting connections with others. The comfort zone is a trap that can lead to a life of regret and unfulfilled potential. Step out of your comfort zone and embrace discomfort for growth and fulfillment. Remember the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In other words, the best way to overcome the challenges and limitations imposed by staying in your comfort zone is to rise above them. Take control of your life, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace the discomfort that leads to growth and fulfillment. The Stoic path to real change. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. Real change isn't just about tweaking the surface, but fundamentally shifting how you face life's challenges. This transformation begins with confronting your fears head-on, embracing challenges as opportunities, and taking practical, actionable steps to step out of your comfort zone. Facing fear. The importance of confronting fears to make real changes. Fear is the mind's way of keeping you safe, but it can also be the very thing that traps you in a cycle of stagnation. Stoicism teaches that fear should not be avoided, but faced directly. When you confront your fears, you realize that they are often more manageable than you imagined. It's the fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown that keeps you from making the changes you know you need to make. Nelson Mandela's quote, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall," perfectly encapsulates this mindset. It's not about avoiding the fall, but finding the strength to get back up each time you stumble. By facing your fears, you weaken their grip on you and build the resilience to keep moving forward, even when the path is tough. Take a moment to think about something you've been avoiding out of fear. It could be a conversation, a new job opportunity, or even a personal goal. What's holding you back? Imagine what could happen if you faced it head-on. The act of confronting that fear could be the catalyst for profound personal growth. Accepting challenges. How embracing challenges leads to growth. Life's challenges are not roadblocks. They are the stepping stones to growth. Stoicism encourages you to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to test your strength and character. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better, to learn more, and to grow in ways you never thought possible. When you embrace challenges, you develop a mindset that is open to learning and adapting. This is crucial because true change requires you to be flexible and willing to evolve. Whether it's a difficult project at work, a strained relationship, or a personal struggle, viewing these challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles will transform your approach. The more you embrace challenges, the more you'll see them as essential components of your growth, not as things to be avoided. The Stoic approach is to accept that life will always present challenges, and instead of shying away from them, you should welcome them. Each challenge is a chance to practice courage, patience, and wisdom, essential for personal growth. Practical steps, simple, actionable steps to step out of your comfort zone. Making real change doesn't happen overnight and doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes the most effective steps are small, consistent actions that push you slightly out of your comfort zone. Here's how you can start. 1. Set small, achievable goals. Begin with something manageable. It could be speaking up more in meetings, trying a new hobby, or reaching out to someone you've lost touch with. These small actions build momentum. 2. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on what you did that was outside your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be huge. What matters is that you did something. This reflection builds self-awareness and helps you recognize your progress. 3. Seek discomfort. Actively look for situations that make you uncomfortable. This could be taking on a new responsibility at work or engaging in a difficult conversation. The more you seek discomfort, the more resilient you become. 4. Embrace failure as a learning tool. Don't fear failure. Use it when you fail. You will see it as a learning experience rather than a setback. Each failure is a step towards success. 5. Surround yourself with support. Change is hard, and even harder alone. Surround yourself with people who encourage and challenge you to grow. They will be your support system when the journey gets tough. By following these steps in your daily life, you can gain the courage and strength needed to step out of your comfort zone. Embracing change is about getting back up every time you fall, confronting your fears, being open to facing challenges, and committing to personal growth. Manly Stoic methods in action. Life's most difficult moments test our character in ways that comfort never could. When faced with adversity, it's not just about surviving the storm, but about using it to grow stronger. The Stoics understood this deeply, advocating for resilience and inner strength, especially during life's hardest challenges. Let's explore how Stoic principles can be applied to real-life situations, demonstrating the power of this ancient philosophy in action. Real life example 1. Breaking up with someone you care about. Ending a relationship can feel like the ground has been pulled out from under you. It's a moment of intense emotional upheaval, where the familiar is suddenly gone and you're left to navigate uncharted waters. In such times, the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control becomes paramount. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The breakup itself is beyond your control, but how you respond to it is within your grasp. Embrace the pain and acknowledge the loss, but don't let it define you. Instead, let it be a catalyst for growth, pushing you to reflect on what truly matters in your life. Real-life example 2. Facing betrayal from a close friend. Betrayal cuts deep, especially when it comes from someone you trusted. It's a wound that can fester if not handled properly. The Stoics teach us to accept the reality of human nature, understanding that people can and will disappoint us. Seneca's wisdom offers solace. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Instead of harboring bitterness, focus on maintaining your integrity. Use the experience to cultivate resilience and to reassess the relationships in your life. Betrayal, while painful, is an opportunity to strengthen your character and realign your values. Real-life example 3. Experiencing failure after great effort. Failure is a harsh teacher, especially when you've poured your heart and soul into something. It's easy to fall into despair, to see the effort as wasted. However, the Stoic perspective reframes failure as a stepping stone to success. As Winston Churchill famously said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Failure is not the end, but a vital part of the journey. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. Embrace failure not as a setback, but as a necessary step towards achieving greatness. Real-life example 4. Losing a loved one. Loss is one of the most profound and painful experiences in life. The death of a loved one leaves a void that seems impossible to fill. The Stoics, however, remind us that death is a natural part of life. Marcus Aurelius advises, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." While the pain of loss is real, it's also a reminder to cherish the time we have with those we love. Use the grief to deepen your appreciation for life, to live more fully, and to honor the memory of the one you've lost by embodying the values they held dear. Real life example 5. Struggling with unfulfilled dreams. Unfulfilled dreams can haunt you, filling your life with regret and a sense of failure. But the Stoics would encourage you to reflect on what truly matters. Those dreams may not be aligned with your true purpose, or the journey provided more valuable lessons than the achievement. Seneca offers perspective. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Instead of lamenting what didn't happen, focus on what you can do now. Redirect your energy towards new goals and let the lessons of the past guide you to a more fulfilling future. Real-life example 6. Experiencing rejection. Rejection can be devastating in love, work, or personal pursuits. It strikes at the core of our self-worth and can leave us questioning our value. But rejection, like failure, is an inevitable part of life. The Stoic approach views rejection not as a personal failing, but as an external event beyond your control. Steve Maraboli teaches, "Every time I thought I was being rejected from something good, I was actually being redirected to something better." Use rejection as an opportunity to grow, to refine your approach, and to become more resilient. Every no is a step closer to the right yes. Real-life example 7. Navigating a family conflict. Family conflicts are emotionally charged and often complicated by history and deep-seated emotions. The Stoic approach to such disputes is to maintain your composure and focus on what you can control, your own actions and reactions. Marcus Aurelius's advice is clear. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Instead of getting caught up in the drama, lead by example. Show patience, understanding, and a willingness to find common ground. By doing so, you not only resolve the conflict, but also set a standard for others to follow. Real-life example 8. Witnessing a loved one's struggle. Watching someone you care about struggle can be incredibly painful, especially when you feel powerless to help. The Stoic response is to offer support without becoming consumed by the situation. As Seneca reminds us, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Be there for your loved one, but maintain your inner strength. Encourage them and offer guidance, but recognize that their journey is theirs. Your role is to be a source of stability and strength, a reminder that there is hope even in the darkest times. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Edmund Hillary. The greatest battles are often fought within. Each real-life challenge is an opportunity to conquer your inner fears, doubts, and limitations. By applying Stoic principles, you turn adversity into strength, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. In doing so, you not only navigate life's challenges with greater resilience, but also emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes your way. Practical steps to embrace change. Change can feel daunting, but you can navigate it successfully with the right approach. Here's a straightforward guide to help you start embracing change in your life. 1. Set clear goals. Begin by defining what you want to change. Identify specific, achievable goals that align with your values and desires. Whether it's improving your health, advancing in your career, or nurturing relationships, Having clear goals gives you direction. Break these goals into smaller, manageable steps. This makes the process less overwhelming and keeps you motivated as you achieve each milestone. 2. Take small, consistent actions. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. Start with small actions that move you closer to your goals. For example, begin with a short daily workout rather than diving into intense routines to get fit. When done consistently, these small actions build momentum and lead to significant progress. Remember, act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. William James. 3. Seek feedback and adjust. Feedback is crucial for growth, whether it's from mentors, friends, or self-reflection. Use feedback to gauge your progress and make necessary adjustments. Don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working. This flexibility allows you to adapt and continue moving forward, even when challenges arise. 4. Embrace risks and learn from failures. Taking risks is an essential part of change. While it's natural to fear failure, remember that every setback is an opportunity to learn. You might stumble when you step out of your comfort zone, but each failure brings valuable lessons that help you grow. Don't shy away from risks. Approach them with a learning and improvement mindset. 5. Celebrate your progress. Finally, celebrate your successes, no matter how small they seem. Acknowledging your progress keeps you motivated and reinforces your positive changes. Focusing on what's still left to do is easy, but recognizing your achievements fuels your determination to keep going. You can make meaningful changes in your life by setting clear goals, taking consistent actions, seeking feedback, embracing risks, and celebrating progress. Remember, each small step you take today contributes to the bigger picture of your future. Embracing change is not merely about stepping out of your comfort zone. It's about stepping into a life of greater purpose and fulfillment. The Stoic teachings remind us that true growth happens when we face our fears and push beyond what feels safe. As we navigate life's challenges, remember, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Vince Lombardi. Each obstacle is an opportunity to strengthen our resolve and character. Now is the time to take action. Start small, set goals, take calculated risks, and seek feedback. No matter how minor, each step forward is a step towards a more dynamic and rewarding life. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. William James. Your actions can reshape your future and lead you to new heights of achievement and satisfaction. If this video has inspired you to make a change, hit the like button and subscribe to the Stoic community for more content on harnessing Stoic wisdom for personal growth. Share your journey and insights in the comments. Let's support each other in stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing the path to true transformation. Remember, the present moment is your greatest ally in shaping a meaningful future. The only way to deal with the future is to make the present meaningful. Epictetus. Seize this moment, act purposefully, and commit to living a life of courage and impact. Thank you for joining us, and here's to your journey of growth and resilience. Have you ever felt like you're standing still while the world rushes past you? Like no matter how hard you try to keep up, there's always someone smarter, faster, or more put together than you. If you felt like this before, or you feel like this now, I want you to know you're not alone. It's easy to get caught in the trap of thinking intelligence is something you either have or you don't, like a gift handed out at birth that you missed. But the truth is that intelligence isn't fixed, it's built. What separates intelligent people from the rest isn't that they have all the answers or that life comes effortlessly to them. Far from it. It's how they approach the unknown, their willingness to adapt, and their relentless commitment to learning, even when things get uncomfortable. Intelligence is less about IQ scores and more about how you navigate life's challenges, handle your emotions, and grow through setbacks. Today, we're going to go through 7 simple yet powerful habits that intelligent people practice differently. These aren't unreachable ideals or traits reserved for a select few. They're mindsets and actions anyone can cultivate to live with greater clarity, purpose, and strength. As we go through these habits, I want you to remember one thing. The fact that you're here, seeking this knowledge, already means you're on the right path, and that's all that matters. Before we begin, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing videos like this. Let's get started. Masters the art of adaptability. Life rarely unfolds the way we expect. Plans fall apart, technology evolves faster than we can blink, and situations we thought we had figured out suddenly shift under our feet. Yet while most people fight against change, clinging to the way things used to be, intelligent individuals see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. They understand that resisting the inevitable only leads to frustration, while adaptability unlocks possibilities. Adaptability isn't about being passive or going with the flow in a careless way. It's about actively recalibrating when the situation demands it, much like water navigating around rocks in a stream. Water doesn't argue with the obstacles in its path. It simply finds a way forward. This mindset doesn't just apply to big life events, but also to the small, everyday moments. For example, an intelligent person who faces unexpected challenges at work won't waste energy complaining or blaming others. Instead, they'll look at the situation and think, what can I do differently to make this work? Adapting doesn't mean abandoning who you are. It means expanding who you are. Whether it's learning a new skill, embracing a different perspective, or letting go of outdated beliefs, adaptability helps us evolve. Start small. Commit to stepping out of your comfort zone in one area of your life. Maybe it's trying a new approach to a problem you've struggled with, or perhaps it's as simple as being open to feedback without defensiveness. Over time, these small shifts add up to a profound transformation. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Master this, and you will find strength. Adaptability is exactly that. Realizing that while you can't control the external world, you can control how you respond to it. Each time you choose to adjust and move forward, you strengthen your ability to thrive, no matter what life throws your way. Finds strength in acknowledging what they don't know. Admitting that you don't know something is one of the hardest things to do in a world that prizes certainty. We're conditioned to equate intelligence with having all the answers, to fear the vulnerability of saying, I don't know. But the crazy twist to this is that the wisest and most intelligent people you'll meet are often the quickest to admit their ignorance. They don't see it as a weakness, but as a strength, a sign of their confidence and their commitment to learning. Why is this so powerful? Because when you acknowledge what you don't know, you open the door to growth. Imagine trying to fill a cup that's already full. It's impossible. Intelligent people understand that humility is the empty space that allows them to take in more. They know that admitting ignorance isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning. In fact, this mindset was central to the philosophy of Socrates, who famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." That's not a statement of defeat. It's a call to curiosity, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge never ends. This habit also protects intelligent people from the dangers of arrogance and stagnation. The moment you start believing you know everything, you stop learning. You become blind to new perspectives and deaf to valuable lessons. But when you're honest about your limitations, you remain a student of life. For example, an intelligent leader isn't afraid to admit to their team, "I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to figure it out with you." That honesty fosters trust, invites collaboration, and sets the tone for growth. So, how do you build this habit? Start by paying attention to your reaction when you encounter something unfamiliar. Do you pretend to know more than you do? Or do you embrace the opportunity to learn? Practice saying, "I don't know, but I'd like to find out," and watch how it changes your conversations and your confidence. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, and don't shy away from asking them questions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflected deeply on the idea of self-awareness, reminding himself to stay humble and open to wisdom from all sources. Following this path doesn't just make you more intelligent, it makes you more grounded. Each time you admit what you don't know, you take a step toward becoming the kind of person who inspires trust, curiosity, and growth in others. And most importantly, you remind yourself that intelligence isn't a destination, but a journey, one that thrives on honesty, humility, and a hunger to keep learning. Relentlessly seeks to expand their knowledge. Intelligent people know that knowledge isn't static. It's not something you acquire once and store away like a trophy. It's alive, constantly growing, evolving, and demanding attention. For them, learning isn't just a task, it's a way of life. They understand that the more they know, the more they realize how much is left to discover. This mindset isn't about chasing perfection. It's about committing to curiosity and growth every single day. Knowledge isn't confined to books or classrooms. Intelligent individuals recognize that lessons are everywhere, in conversations, failures, nature, and even silence. They actively seek out opportunities to learn, no matter how small or unconventional they may seem. For instance, they might learn something valuable from a mentor, but also from someone younger or less experienced. Appreciating that wisdom isn't tied to age or status. They see every experience as a chance to grow, every person as a potential teacher. One of the defining traits of intelligent people is their willingness to be uncomfortable in the pursuit of knowledge. Growth often requires stepping into the unknown, challenging what you think you know, and embracing the possibility of failure. Take a musician learning a new instrument or a professional diving into a skill outside their expertise. Intelligent people don't shy away from being beginners again because they know that mastery starts with curiosity and effort. Your challenge for the week is to dedicate 20 minutes a day to learning something new, reading a book, exploring a subject online, or practicing a skill you've always wanted to develop. Seek out diverse perspectives by exposing yourself to ideas and cultures outside of your comfort zone. For example, if you're used to consuming content from one point of view, deliberately explore another, not to agree or disagree, but to understand. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This timeless wisdom reminds us that there's no finish line in the journey of growth. Every bit of knowledge you gain, every skill you develop, adds a new layer to who you are. The relentless pursuit of learning doesn't just make you smarter, it makes you more adaptable, empathetic, and capable of navigating the complexities of life. And perhaps most importantly, It keeps you connected to that spark of curiosity that makes the world feel endlessly fascinating. Owns their actions and their consequences. Taking responsibility for your actions is one of the most empowering things you can do, yet so many people avoid it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront mistakes, accept failures, and sometimes even face the pain you've caused others. But intelligent individuals understand that accountability isn't a burden, it's a tool for growth. By owning their actions and the consequences that come with them, they take control of their lives instead of being at the mercy of excuses, blame, or denial. Accountability requires honesty, not just with others, but with yourself. Intelligent people don't waste time pointing fingers or making excuses when things go wrong. Instead, they ask themselves, what was my role in this? What could I have done differently? This practice isn't about self-blame or dwelling on the past. It's about learning and moving forward with greater clarity. For example, if an intelligent person makes a mistake at work, they don't try to cover it up or shift the blame. They'll say, this is what happened, this is how I contributed to it, and here's how I'm going to fix it. That kind of integrity not only earns respect, but also fosters trust and self-confidence. Owning your actions also means taking credit for your successes, but with humility. Intelligent people don't downplay their achievements or act like they happened by accident. Instead, they acknowledge the effort, discipline, and decisions that got them there, while also recognizing the help they may have received along the way. This balance of confidence and gratitude makes them grounded and approachable. Building this habit starts with self-reflection. The next time you face a challenge or conflict, pause and ask yourself, what part of this do I control? How can I take responsibility for the outcome? It might feel uncomfortable at first, but over time you'll start to notice little changes. By owning your actions, you reclaim your power. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, emphasized this principle when he wrote, "You have power over your mind. Realize this, and you will find strength." In owning your choices, you take charge of your life. You stop being a passive participant and instead become the architect of your own story. Accountability isn't a limitation, it's freedom. It's the knowledge that while you can't control everything that happens, you can always control how you respond. And in that response lies your greatest power. Transforms criticism into a blueprint for growth. Most people shrink at the sound of criticism. It feels like an attack, a reflection of our shortcomings, or worse, a judgment of our worth. But intelligent individuals approach criticism differently. Instead of taking it personally or dismissing it outright, they use it as a mirror, a tool for self-awareness and growth. They understand that behind every critique, whether constructive or harsh, lies an opportunity to improve, refine, and evolve. The key lies in how they process it. Intelligent people don't let their emotions take over when faced with criticism. Instead of reacting defensively, they pause and ask themselves, is there truth in this? Even if it's uncomfortable, what can I learn from it? By separating their ego from the feedback, they focus on the value it offers. For instance, an intelligent person receiving critical feedback on a project won't waste time being offended or making excuses. They'll take the time to evaluate the input, identify areas for improvement, and apply what's valuable. It's important to note that not all criticism is equal. Intelligent people are discerning about the source and intent of the feedback. They know how to filter out noise, comments that stem from jealousy, misunderstanding, or negativity, and focus on feedback that comes from a place of insight or care. This ability to distinguish between helpful and harmful criticism ensures every passing comment does not derail them. From today, try to change how you perceive criticism. Instead of seeing it as an attack, view it as a gift, an opportunity to see yourself from another perspective. Practice listening without interrupting or defending yourself, and reflect before you respond. You don't have to agree with every critique, but you should always consider it thoughtfully. The Stoics often spoke of welcoming feedback as part of self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change." This mindset is a hallmark of intelligence. By embracing criticism instead of fearing it, you turn it into a catalyst for progress. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving to be better, one honest reflection at a time. When you treat criticism as a blueprint for growth, you unlock the courage to improve and the resilience to thrive, no matter what others say. Seeks truth by questioning with intention. In a world overflowing with information, finding what's true or false often feels like a needle in a haystack. Everywhere we turn, we're bombarded with opinions, assumptions, and surface-level narratives designed to capture our attention rather than deepen our understanding. But intelligent people approach the world differently. They don't simply accept what they're told, nor do they aimlessly question everything in an act of rebellion. Instead, they ask intentional, thoughtful questions that guide them toward clarity. The act of questioning isn't about being contrarian or skeptical for the sake of it. It's about staying curious and committed to finding what's real. Intelligent people understand that truth isn't always obvious. It's layered, nuanced, and sometimes uncomfortable. They approach learning like peeling back the layers of an onion, digging deeper until they uncover something meaningful. For example, if someone presents a strong opinion, an intelligent person doesn't jump to agree or disagree. Instead, they pause and ask themselves, what's the reasoning behind this? Does it align with what I know? Could there be more to the story? This practice isn't just about external truths, it's also about questioning oneself. Intelligent individuals have the humility to ask hard questions about their own beliefs, actions, and motivations. They're not afraid to wonder, am I holding on to this belief because it's true or because it's comfortable? This inner dialogue is where real growth begins. By challenging their own assumptions, they create room to learn and evolve. To develop this habit, you can practice daily. The next time you encounter new information, whether it's a headline, a conversation, or a claim someone makes, take a deep breath before reacting. Ask yourself questions like, what's the evidence behind this? Who benefits from this perspective? Is there another angle I haven't considered? Over time, this simple practice sharpens your ability to discern what's meaningful from what's noise. The Stoics often emphasize this principle, with Epictetus reminding us to examine our judgments before we accept them as truth. Today, that wisdom is more relevant than ever. When you learn to question with intention, you give yourself the gift of clarity in a confusing world. You're no longer swayed by fleeting trends or shallow narratives because you've built the skill of seeing beyond the surface. And in that truth-seeking process, you don't just understand the world better, you understand yourself better too. Leverages discomfort as a catalyst for progress. Discomfort is one of life's greatest teachers, yet most people run from it. It's human nature to seek comfort, to build routines that feel safe and predictable. But intelligent people recognize that the most significant growth often comes from leaning into discomfort, not avoiding it. They understand that pain, uncertainty, and challenge are not obstacles to be feared, but opportunities to transform. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in life, whether it's learning a new skill, overcoming a fear, or achieving a goal, starts with a period of discomfort. Intelligent people see this as a necessary step, not a punishment. For instance, when faced with a difficult task, they don't shy away because it's hard or unfamiliar. Instead, they ask, "What can this teach me? How can I grow from this experience?" This mindset shifts their focus from fear to possibility. Whether it's starting a business, rebuilding after failure, or stepping into a difficult conversation, they embrace the discomfort because they know it's the price of progress. This approach requires both courage and patience. Discomfort doesn't offer instant rewards, it demands perseverance. Intelligent people remind themselves that growth is rarely linear. Like a seed struggling to break through the soil, the process is messy, uncertain, and often frustrating. But they trust that the discomfort will eventually lead to something greater. They've learned to sit with the tension and let it do its work, knowing it's shaping them into a stronger, wiser version of themselves. While practicing this won't be easy, you can always start by reframing how you view discomfort. Instead of seeing it as a sign to stop, see it as an indicator that you're pushing your boundaries. Practice leaning into small challenges each day, a difficult workout, a new task at work, or even a tough conversation. Over time, you'll build the resilience to face bigger challenges with the same mindset. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely observed, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. By leveraging discomfort, you transform it into fuel for progress. It's not about seeking out pain for its own sake, but about embracing it when it comes, knowing that it's leading you somewhere better. Each time you face discomfort with courage, you expand your capacity to grow, adapt, and thrive. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined, and in that realization lies true intelligence. Embracing the habits of intelligent people doesn't mean becoming perfect or knowing everything. It means choosing growth over comfort, curiosity over complacency, and responsibility over blame. It's about acknowledging what you don't know and seeking to fill that gap, owning your actions and their consequences, and turning every moment of discomfort into a stepping stone toward progress. Each of these habits, whether it's questioning with intention, embracing feedback, or relentlessly pursuing knowledge, is a conscious choice to become better every single day. The truth is that intelligence isn't just about facts and figures. It's a way of living, a mindset that thrives on learning, adapting, and improving. It's about becoming more aware of yourself, your actions, and your place in the world. And the best part? You have the power to cultivate these habits. With patience, practice, and perseverance, you can embody the same mindset that drives the most successful, resilient, and insightful people in history. So, if you're ready to step into that journey of growth, to unlock your true potential, and to start making smarter, more intentional choices every day, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We focus on topics that empower you to take control of your life, think deeper, and become the best version of yourself. See you in the next one.